Bear with me. My bad. What's going on, fam? What's going on, Set Apart Gardens family? Y'all know what to do when y'all come in. Drop a comment in the chat. Let me know where y'all tuning in from. We in the garden with it today. As y'all can see, I got the meat birds right there behind me and the other chickens. And I know it's getting dark soon, so if it get too dark, I'm gonna head into the man cave. But I wanted to come and chop it up with y'all for a few minutes. I got a topic that I want to talk about. So as y'all coming in, man, drop a comment in the chat. Let me know where you tuning in from. Let me know where you tuning in from. Y'all already know what to do. Y'all already know what to do, man. It got cold like overnight. Seemed like it's cold down here, and I think they say it's supposed to be snow somewhere in Georgia. Hopefully we don't get no snow though. What's going on, the off-grid chucker? What's going on, fam? Shalom, fam. Shalom, peace. What's going on? Y'all know what to do as y'all coming in, man. I want to talk about something. And if y'all haven't already, man, go check out our last video we dropped yesterday. Go check that out. Go hype that up. Yazakel, what's going on? Eastman, Georgia. Shout out to Eastman, Georgia. What's going on, fam? Oh, you in Chicago? Oh, you must be on that road. You must be on that road. Is it? I know it's cold up there. Y'all hit that like button if y'all haven't already. But I want to talk about something because I was thinking about this as I was just doing my evening chores on the homestead. You know, because there's something special about, you know, working hard. Because when you work hard and when you're just working and being consistent and being diligent, it gives you time to think. Like a lot of especially men, I'm pretty sure for women too, but like, because a lot of times men, we do hard laborious jobs and stuff like that, and we don't have to use our mind as much when we're doing like laborious jobs and different things like that. And so it gives us time to think, and that's a beautiful thing. When you're working, you got the time and just the opportunity to think and ponder and reflect on life and all type of stuff. So something came to my mind, and that was, if you have time to doubt, you aren't working hard enough. So like, let's say you are building something, you know what I'm saying? Building something big, whatever, business, homestead, farm, you know, whatever it is, any type of goal. If you're building something big, right, you already have your vision. You started off with the vision. You know, you did your due diligence. You wrote out your plan. You wrote out the vision, made it plain, wrote your plan out, did your research, you know, and start executing. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, family. I don't know what happened. My phone just blacked out. I don't know what happened. But let me know if I'm back. Let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. Enemy don't want us to be great. Let me know if y'all can hear me. One's in the chat if you can hear me. Two if you can't. Don't forget to hit that. Oh, appreciate that, the off-grid truck. Appreciate that, fam. Okay, one. Okay, I got a one in the chat. If y'all haven't already, hit that like button. Okay, appreciate it. What's going on, Sonya? What's going on, AZ Sunset? Appreciate y'all, fam, for tuning in. But like I was just saying, right? If you have time to doubt, like you on a journey, right? You on a journey, and you on a journey to something great. You know, you the first in your family to, it may be getting your bachelor's or your master's or your doctorate degree. It may be you building a business from the ground up. It may be you buying land and starting a farm. You know what I mean? Maybe you going into the military. I don't know. Whatever journey you on, right? And you've already got the vision, you already working your plan. And along on that journey, doubt comes up. Because maybe, you know, the results you think you should be getting aren't happening, or maybe you experiencing setbacks, or maybe it seems like you so far away from the goal and things are getting hard, things are getting tough. You might have had to go through some detours or whatever the case may be. If you have time to doubt and really sit and doubt and ponder on doubt, that means you're not working hard enough. Because you know the quickest remedy for doubt is work. The quickest remedy for doubt is work. So if you want to stop doubting, you want to stop being so anxious, go put your hand to the plow. What's going on, Cheryl G? Appreciate you, fam, for tuning in. Let me know if that makes sense. The remedy for doubt, anxiety, you know, and just all that type of stuff is working, putting your hand to the plow. And don't get it confused. I'm not saying bury yourself in work so you don't have time to think. That's not what I'm saying. You always got to have a healthy balance. But what I'm saying is if you find yourself too busy doubting, you know, to the point to where now you're thinking about quitting, now you're thinking about acting upon that doubt, that means that you're not working hard enough. That means that you got too much time on your hand. What's going on, TLT? Literally less than an hour ago, doubting my plan. Wow, see, it's right on time. Right on time. See, like I say, every time a word come to me, I want to bring it to y'all because I know it's applicable. Because I know it's applicable. So when you find yourself doubting, if you got that much time to sit and doubt and ponder on that doubt and think about quitting and think about retracting and think about retreating, that means you're not working hard enough. That means you're not working hard enough. And that means you need to go and put your hand to the plow. That means you need to go and you know, do some extra credit. You know what I'm saying? Go and start a project on your farm. If you thinking about quitting on your farm or your homestead or your land, and you know, you just feel like, man, I'm not making the progress that I want to make, this, that, and the third, that means you need to go out and do something extra. That means you need to go out and start a project, you know, you know, go plant a new patch of garden, whatever. That means you need to do something extra. That means you need to work a little bit harder because you got too much time on your hand to doubt. And like I say, this is not to say you want to drown yourself with work, because that's another thing. See, when you live in extremes, you got to find the median. Because I can remember, like, you know, a young soldier in the Army, and you would have a lot of these higher ranking individuals. Most of them be males, but some of them be females too. They would literally like stay in the office till 8, 9, 10 o'clock because they didn't want to go home. They would drown themselves with work so they didn't have to think about life. And that's not to say, you know, when you doubting that you need to drown yourself in work to the point where you can't think. But why I say that is because when you get in your mind too much, the cure for that is to go out and do something. Because when you're doing something, you don't have time to sit and doubt, because you're seeing things happen and you're making things happen, and it's motivating and encouraging you to continue to go on. And it's bringing you back to reality, because when you in your head too much, you're not in reality. Yeah, appreciate that, the off-grid trucker. What's going on, Evelyn? What's going on? If y'all haven't already hit that like button. Got acres planting food, raising chickens, need some goats. Yeah, I need some goats too, man. I was just talking to a brother last night on the call in the tribe, and I was telling him my goals for 2026, and one of it, well, two of them, I got 2 padouts right now, and I'm gonna build those padouts out with shelters, and I'm gonna put goats in one, and I'm gonna put sheep in one. I wanna do Kiko goats, because that's like a breed that I always wanted to get into. And then of course I'm gonna get back into the Katahdin sheep. But I wanna do Kikos and Katahdins. I wanna start off with a flock of 5 females and 1 male for each, for the sheep and the goats. But again, this is my first point, because I got 4 points that I want to hit, and then I'm gonna let y'all get back to y'all evening. But my first point is this: the plan works, you just gotta work it. So you've already done your due diligence. You wrote out your plan because you got a vision. You got inspired from something. You got inspired from something, and you mapped out your plan. Whether it's to build that business, that homestead, get that degree, whatever it is. You wrote out your plan. You researched, you did everything, right? And now you're working your plan. Yes, doubt is gonna come along, but the plan works. You just gotta continue to work it. I don't care if you feel like you got to the middle and it's like, man, stuff coming from every direction. It seems like I'm not gonna make it to the end. No, just continue to work that plan. Even when it don't seem like it's working, it is working. When the plan don't seem like it's working, it's working. You see what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have those highs and lows. You're gonna have that honeymoon phase, and then you into reality now. And now you into reality, you like, oh man, I didn't know it come with all of this. Just continue walking. That's just like if you, I don't know if any of y'all like ever like went hiking or did any kind of nature trails. That's something that me and my family, we like to do, and we used to do a lot, but we don't do it as much anymore. But I actually started doing like hiking and trails and stuff when I was stationed in Hawaii. And so on some of those trails, because I can remember one of these trails, it was like the first one I went on. And usually a lot of the trails in Hawaii, they go up. Like you go up into a mountain and all that type of stuff. But this one, we was trying to go to a waterfall. And the whole trail, it was going down a slope. It was going down a steep slope, and it was muddy. It was this, it was that. And when we first started walking, everything was cool, beautiful, nature, whatever. You know what I mean? But then as we got deeper into the trail, we got deeper into it, into the hike, it's like, okay, now it's slippery, now it's muddy. You know, we don't see nobody, but they told us this is the way to go. But it's looking like this ain't the way to go. It's like, man, we need to turn around and maybe we need to go to the left or to the right. But, you know, we had been reassured, like, no, just keep going this way and you're going to hit the waterfall. But during the middle of that whole ordeal, it don't look like this is the right path. We already got the plan. We working the plan. But when we get somewhere in the plan where it seems like, man, the plan is all wrong, it's not all wrong. Just keep going. And so we kept going. We kept going. We kept going. You know what I'm saying? And we, you know, and it's a, you know, it takes a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes a lot of energy and all that type of stuff when you're doing trails and you hiking. And especially, like, we used to have the rucksacks and stuff. So it's taking a lot, right? But anywho, we eventually get to the waterfall. And it's like one of the most beautifulest things ever. And then people out there, they having fun, they swinging from ropes and all this type of stuff. But imagine halfway through when we said, man, nah, this ain't working. This plan ain't working. This can't be the right way. Let's turn around, let's quit. We would have never got to see that beautiful waterfall. We would have never got to see that. But all we did was say, you know what? No, this is what they said. We're going to trust the plan. We're going to trust the path. Because they have already been down this way before, and they told us just go this way. You see what I'm saying? Even though it went against our logic in that moment, we trusted the plan. And being that we trusted the plan, we seen paradise. So it's the same thing when you are on a journey. It's the same thing when you're on a journey and you get halfway in and it seems like this is the wrong way. I need to turn around. I need to retreat. This don't make sense. This is off the beaten path. This is off the beaten path. No, just keep going that way. They told you, just keep going that way. It's going to work. Just keep going. And eventually you're going to get there. Just work the plan. You already got the plan. You got the map. Just work it. Just continue to put one foot in front of the other. And eventually you're going to get to the destination. See, they told you that at the end of the road was going to be a beautiful waterfall, but they didn't tell you all of the little things that you're going to have, the snares and the hardness of it. They didn't tell you all that. They just told you, hey, take this route. If you keep going, you're going to eventually hit it. They ain't say you got to go, it's going to be a fork in the road. It's going to wind right here. It's going to get steep right here. It's going to be a little muddy right here. You know, you might see a snake or two. They ain't tell you all that. They just told you what was at the end. And if you want to get to the end, go this way. And that's the same thing with everything in life. You trying to do something great. You know, you want to be a content creator. You want to be a farmer. Okay, they tell you, okay, do X, Y, and Z. Go and get this, do that. This is what you're going to need. Equipment, materials, whatever. Training. And you going and doing that and you working the plan, but it's seeming like this ain't working. This ain't working. Usually when it seems like it's not working is when it's working the most. Usually when it seems like it's not working, that's when it's working the most. Let me see what the chat talking about, because I'm cooking today, man. Barzy, what's going on, fam? Mental fortitude is a psychological strength to stay resilient and focused. Exactly, mental fortitude. When you can lock out the doubt and the anxiety and you can just press on, you know what I'm saying? That's that mental fortitude. And calm under pressure, exactly. Enabling you to overcome adversity. Man, bars are always coming with the heat, man. I appreciate that, fam. Enabling you to overcome adversity, setbacks, and stress by maintaining self-belief and perseverance towards your goal. Exactly. Appreciate that, the off-grid trucker, man. I appreciate that, for real. Y'all tap that screen. Much like building physical callus. Exactly. Matter of fact, let me go into the man cave, y'all. It's getting dark. I know it's getting dark. Hold on, let me take this in the man cave so I can really cook. Let me take this in the man cave. Come on, y'all, follow me. Stop. Let me take this to the man cave. Yeah, I wanted to get some scenery in here at first. I wanted to get some scenery, but now that it's getting dark, we're gonna transition on inside. Let's go. But yeah, like you right on point. It's much like building callus on your hands. You know what I mean? Like you working outside with lumber and tools and all that stuff. And eventually your hand's gonna start getting rough. It's gonna start getting gritty. And so now splinters don't even bother you. Splinters don't even bother you no more because you got the callus on your hand. You formed a protective layer. Like back in the days when our ancestors, when they ain't had no shoes, right? When they was enslaved and they ain't had shoes and stuff like that, they built callus on their feet. So they was able to walk. They was able to run through the woods. They was able to run through the woods and not be bothered by no thorns or nothing. You see what I'm saying? So, hold on, let me sit down. All right, we in the on. Man, y'all see them Jags behind me. Too bad my team got knocked out, but it's all good. Hold on, let me turn this heat off real quick. Let me turn this heat off real quick. But it's like Bars of Yah said, it's just like building calluses, right? So just imagine, like, you used to see a lot of those pictures back in the days where, you know, our ancestors, they barefoot out there and they running and they runaway slaves and stuff. You like, man, I can't walk outside like that barefoot. But no, they built the calluses up. You see what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with your mind. When you are diligent and you're consistent and you work hard enough and you feed your mind the right things, when doubt comes, you already got calluses formed to the point where that won't even affect you. Allowing for growth, not just endurance and challenge. Exactly. Definitely making sense to me. Okay, cool. All right. That's why the phrase is set a plan. It's always there. You have to put it into motion and keep it in motion. Exactly. You have to put it in motion, like you say, but not only put it in motion, keep it in motion. Keep it going. It's eventually gonna work at some point. You don't know when though, and that be the thing. Because you don't know when it's gonna work. You don't know when that big break gonna come. You don't know when, you know, the money gonna come and all that type of stuff. But as long as you keep working the plan, it's got to work. It's got to. But you would get somewhere in the middle of that plan and say, man, nah, this ain't working. I done put too much money in. I done put too much time in. I ain't seen no investment. I was just, I was listening to an interview and they were interviewing Rick Ross about, you know, entrepreneurship and stuff like that. And he was like, he started off as a writer, right? He wasn't even no rapper. He said he started off as a writer, but then he started rapping. And he was like, before he even like tried to get a deal or negotiated for a deal, he just went out and put out projects and work. He was like, he was making music for 10 years before he ever got signed. You see what I'm saying? And so that be the thing, like a lot of times when we work in our plan, we don't know how long it's gonna take. But one thing we often underestimate is just how long it takes. Because we think if we put in a year, 2 years, we should be seeing the results pour in. That's not how it works. Sometimes you may have to put in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years before you start to see the results really start flooding in. You see what I'm saying? We underestimate how long it takes. And that's why a lot of times we doubt because we in the middle of it. And it's like, man, you know, it's not working. But it is working. It is working. You just got to keep going. You just got to keep going and you just got to keep adjusting and readjusting and tweaking things that need to be tweaked. You see what I'm saying? But we often underestimate it. But just work your plan. It's a reason why, you know, you trusted that plan enough to go along with it. It's a reason why you trusted the GPS to you know, get you and navigate you to the place you want to go. I always kind of use analogies with cars and GPS because when you put something in your GPS, you trusting that. You trusting that to say, okay, well, make a left right here, make a right here, get on 95, go this way, go that way, get off on this exit. You see what I'm saying? But see, this the thing, like in the middle of that drive, you know, it may look like, well, man, I don't know where this GPS taking me, but you trust that, okay, the GPS, you know, it's got to get me there. Just do the same thing with your plan. We got more faith in a GPS on our phone than we do in our own plans that we set with our own research and diligence and our own mental capabilities. Let me know if I'm making sense, fam. You definitely have to level up. Exactly. Slow motion is no motion. You have to work the plan, i.e. vision. Yeah, you got to work the plan. And look, slow motion is better than no motion. Man, that was a powerful point right there. For real, though. Nah, for real. We put more faith in a lot of these man-made devices than our own mental capabilities. Like, it's a reason you got inspired. You saw something, you know, you prayed for it. You got confirmation. The Most High already said he was going to bless you with it. He granted you the confirmation, and now you on that journey, and things ain't looking like it's supposed to look. That's why we walk by faith and not by sight. If we walk by sight, everybody would have been quit on everything that they've ever done, and nobody would have ever, reached higher heights. Nobody in history, if we walked it by sight and not faith. That's why it's called faith for a reason. You got to walk by faith and not by sight. Just because you see, man, this, that, and the third, this resistance, that's happening, this person talking about me, that person talking about me, money ain't coming in, all that right there. They saying $1 in a dream, and I ain't got all that. But guess what? They don't see what you see in there. That's why it's important that you just keep on keeping on. If our ancestors did it, we can too. Exactly. You got to think. If our ancestors didn't walk by faith, then we would have never been here. We would have never been free. They would have never thought to run. They would have never thought to resist. They would have never thought to, strategize and do this and do that and rebel. They would have never thought to do that. Because remember, the whole goal, for our history was for us to never be free. We were supposed to be perpetual servitude, perpetual slavery. That was the design of the system. That's why they labeled us 3/5 of human beings. You see what I'm saying? The goal was for us to never have equal rights and never break free from those chains. But our ancestors, they had a vision to say, nah, you know what? Nah, our even if we live like this, our descendants ain't finna live like this. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, let me get to my second point. And y'all let me know if I'm making sense. Let me get to my second point. Doubt is normal when you are on a journey for something great. That's one thing we had to acknowledge. Doubt is normal. Doubt is normal. Just like setbacks are normal, just like resistance is normal, doubt is normal. You gonna doubt naturally. That's just what it is. For anybody who've ever, achieved something great, they'll tell you like, yeah, man, that's normal. That's in our nature. Like Bars y'all just said, that's in our human nature to doubt. But see, what's not, it is kind of normal, but what's not the way to go about it is to act on that doubt. Doubt is normal, but acting on it is not what you should be doing. SOS, the real. Yeah, I feel what you're saying, bro, but we talking about something totally different right now. But that's normal. That's normal. And we have to acknowledge that. It's part of being conscious, having the ability to choose. Exactly. Emotions. Emotions are normal. Doubt is normal. Anxiety, anger, those things are common, especially when you're doing something that you ain't never done before. It's gonna be some times where you doubt, like, man, I don't know if I should take this risk right here. I don't know if I should quit my job. I don't know if I should, go and exhaust this and buy that and do this and do that. I don't know if I should do that. But see, when you act upon that doubt, that's when you shoot yourself in the foot. That's why we have to acknowledge, like, hey, how you feel, that's normal. But don't act upon that. Because you act upon that, you never gonna achieve nothing in life. You're never gonna get nowhere in life if you act upon your emotions and how you feel at the moment. So it's normal. All right, this is my third point. If you find yourself consumed with doubt and worry, it means you ain't working hard enough. And I already kind of hit on that, but I want to go deeper into that. If you find yourself being consumed in doubt and all you doing is thinking about, man, it's going to fail, I don't know about this, you just all this. If you find yourself consumed with those thoughts, that means you ain't doing enough. That means it's, you know what I'm saying? You ain't doing what needs to be done because you got that much time on your hand to be consumed with doubt, to be consumed with worry, to be consumed with anxiety. When you go out and work hard, that right there cures you from a lot of that, bad thoughts mentally. You see what I'm saying? Like when you working hard, when you outside doing something, whether you building something, whether you outside taking care of your animals, whether you in your garden plucking up weeds, tilling the ground, starting seeds, clearing land, you know what I'm saying? Starting fires like we did yesterday, fire got out of hand. But whenever you when you doing something productive, when you are being productive, you reading, you know what I'm saying? You listening to podcasts or books, or you learning, or you doing research, you know what I'm saying? You writing down your next strategy. When you doing that, and when you actively working and being productive, then your mind ain't gonna be consumed with doubt. You're not gonna have time to doubt because it's like I'm making stuff happen right now. I ain't got time for this. I'm reading this book and I'm learning some game right now. Or I'm listening to this person and I'm learning some game right now. Doubt can't even enter in because I'm inputting something that's positive. Or I'm outside and I'm active, I'm pulling up weeds and I'm laboring, I'm working hard and I'm at peace. I don't got time to doubt. You don't doubt when you working because you actually seeing something through. You actually seeing something happen. You don't got time to doubt when you work. That's just what it is. So if you find yourself being consumed with doubt, like, man, I don't know if this is going to work, go out and work harder. Go do something. Go pull. It's always something to be done on the homestead. It's always something to be done on the farm. Go cut down a tree. You got a chainsaw, go cut down a tree. You know what I'm saying? And go and you know, get your burn barrel going. You know, go clean up some poop. Go clean up your chicken house. Go clean out your dog kennels. Go clean out your goat pens, your goat stalls, your sheep stalls. You know what I'm saying? Go turn over your compost pile. Go build you a worm bin. Go build you a raised bed. Go build you another chicken coop. Go look online for some chickens that you want to get. You feel what I'm saying? Go on Craigslist or Facebook group or Google somebody where you can buy some sheep from or some goats from or some cattle from and start looking into the breeds that you want to get. See, you see how it's always something to be done. So if you find yourself doubting, just go do something. Go record a video. You know, plan something. I don't know, go pick up some trash. Hell, do anything. Because when you just do anything instead of doing nothing, then you ain't got time to doubt. You ain't got time to sit here and worry. You see what I'm saying? Because you're too busy working. Like I can remember times where, you know, like growing up, especially like, you know, sometimes, you know, the eviction notice will be on the door or the light bill company notice or whatever. And you know, our parents, my mama or my auntie or whoever I was living with at the time, they'll be worried. They'll just be sitting there worried, paralyzed with worry. And I'm like, well, we need to do something. We can't just sit here and worry. You know what I mean? At least if we gonna sit here, let's sit here and pray. Let's fast. Let's not just sit here and worry because that ain't gonna turn the lights on. That ain't gonna stop them from coming. Doubt, worry, that ain't gonna stop nothing bad from happening. Let's go do something. Let me see what the chat talking about. Everything is a process. Stick to it. Trust it. Exactly. And that could be the hardest thing sometimes is to trust. To trust it. That could be because we, as human beings, as you know, as men, sometimes we don't even trust our own selves. So you talk about trust the plan, that's hard. But that's why it calls for faith. See what I'm saying? Trust it. Just like you trust that vehicle, you know what I'm saying, to not break down and to get you to your destination safely. Just like if you go get on the airplane and you trust in the pilot to get you somewhere safe. Man, I ain't gonna lie, I hate flying. I hate flying, even though I've flown a lot, I hate flying. You know what I mean? You know, especially like if you ever experienced bad turbulence and stuff like that, I hate flying but the number one reason why I hate flying is because I don't like putting my trust in the hands of another man, the pilot. You see what I'm saying? And the co-pilot, whoever in the cockpit. I don't even know y'all. And I'm trusting y'all, and I'm thousands of feet up in the air. Like, if you ever been on a plane, I don't know, I'm weird like that. Even though I don't like flying, I'd rather sit by a window so I can look out the window. And so I can see how high I am. You see what I'm saying? It don't make sense, but I'm not scared to fly, I just don't like to fly. But anywho, you know, we putting our trust in the pilot to get us to land safely, to make sure this flight is gonna go safely. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, if you can trust all of that, that's outside of you, why can't you trust this plan? Why can't you trust this process and just stick to it? Your doubt will be trumped or overcome by your efforts. Exactly, Barza. Man, Barza coming with the heat today, man. I appreciate that. Matter of fact, I'm going to pin that right there. I'm going to pin that. I'm going to pin that. Yeah, that's good. Your doubt will be trumped or overcome by your efforts. Every time. Y'all know how to play spades, right? Y'all know how to play spades. What trumps everything? A spade. You see what I'm saying? I don't care if you got the ace of diamond. If I cut it with that ace of spade, it's trumped it. And guess what trumped everything? The joker, the little joker and the big joker. The big joker trumped everything. You know what I'm saying? Joker, joker, deuce, deuce. That's how I play. Let me know how y'all play spades if y'all play spades. I play joker, joker, deuce, deuce. I don't like to play ace high. I hate playing ace high. But in spades, the joker trumps everything. And then comes the deuces and then comes the spade. So I don't care if you got the highest ace. the ace of heart, the ace of diamond, the ace of club. You throw that out there, and I cut it with that spade, it trumps everything. And that's the same thing when it comes to your efforts. I don't care if the doubt is huge. I'm gonna throw that spade out there, which is my effort, and that's gonna cut it. It's gonna cut it. Ain't nothing else it can do. You can't. I don't care how hard the doubt come, how heavy the doubt is, how heavy the anxiety is. If I go and put my efforts out, which is that spade, it's gonna trump it every time. Yeah, appreciate that, the off-grid trucker. Yeah, we just trying to stay on topic. SOS, the real. That's it. But I appreciate you for tuning in, though. Big thing is to start small. Again, slow motion is better than no motion. Get out your head, boots on the ground, for real. Slow motion better than no motion, boots on the ground. And my daddy say that all the time. Like, I call my dad, I be like, what's up, daddy? He be like, it's slow, but it's for sure. It's slow, but it's for sure. It's slow motion better than no motion. Even if it's slow, it's gonna come. I don't care if I'm working a McDonald's job making $10 an hour. It's slow, the money's slow, but it's for sure. It's coming in, I'm getting that check. Every 1st, every 15th. It's slow, but it's for sure. So slow motion better than no motion. Don't try to start too big. Don't try to just get all these grand ideas and try to execute everything at once. Because when everything starts to mature, you're gonna feel the weight of all of that stuff. So you done went and bought this animal, bought that animal, done did this, did that, and now you done got heaped up all this stuff on your plate. Now when everything needs the responsibility to come behind it, behind the initial purchase, the responsibility comes later, and when that responsibility comes on you, it's going to be a lot for you to handle. You see what I'm saying? Because you got so ambitious and caught up in the moment that you didn't start comfortably and then ease and then grow as you can, grow at a good pace. So start. And see, this is the thing. Everybody's small looks different. When we say start small, everybody's small look different. My small may not look your small. So like your small might be start with 1 acre. My small was 5. Somebody else small may be 10. Somebody else small may be 100. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like everybody else small is different. It just depends on what your vision is, what your goals is, and what your resource look like. But whatever it looks like, start with at a manageable pace. You see what I'm saying? Just like everybody in life, everybody had different physiques. And so like if you running in a marathon or a race, some person may start off at a 5-minute mile pace where you start off at a 7-minute mile pace. But they small to them. That's not much to them. And that's not much to you. You see what I'm saying? But start at your own pace. Just because he's starting at a 5-minute pace, you can't, that's your max. That's your ceiling. That's their floor, but that's your ceiling. You can't try to start where they at. You got to start where you can start at. And you can manage where you can manage. You see what I'm saying? Truth is hard indeed, but that boils down to planning. Exactly. The plan would never be 100%, but starting will progress the efficiency of it. Again, GPS analogy spot on because it updates real time. Exactly, it updates real time. Yep, no, you sure right on that. Okay, you say, oh, okay, you want no spades too, Barza? Yeah, man, I play Joker, deuce. I don't like that ace high crap. Anytime somebody want to play spades, I do not play ace high. Appreciate this conversation for sure. AZ, you can cut that ace of diamond with 3 of spades. That's a good point. If you know how to play spades, right? So this the thing. With spades, like I say, you can have the highest card. You can have that ace of diamond. You see what I'm saying? You can have that ace of club, or ace of whatever, or king, or queen. Everybody else done threw out, 5 of diamond, 7 of diamond. Here you come with the ace of diamond. If I throw a 3 of spade, which is like the lowest spade in the game, I can throw a 3 or a 4 of spade, and that 3 done beat that ace because it's a spade. And the spade trumps everything. Oh, you play ace high to off-grid trucker? Man, I don't see how y'all do it. Indeed, as you said, this convo right on time. All praises for it. Exactly, all praises. I say the same thing. It's slow, but it's for sure. Yeah, man. My daddy be having all type of little sayings like that. Yeah, end up overwhelmed over being effective trying to do it all at once. Exactly. Don't try to do everything at once. Just start on maybe 1 or 2 tasks on your homestead. That's why, matter of fact, I got a back to the land blueprint. Matter of fact, I just finished it today. I just finished it today. I got a whole presentation and I got the worksheet to go with it, the PDF. I'm gonna put that in the tribe, the actual PDF worksheet. I'm gonna put that in the Facebook group. But the actual blueprint course is gonna be in our tribe, our school tribe. But anywho, I made a whole blueprint, and in that blueprint, I talk about, you know, when you're starting on your homestead, right? And see, this the thing. I recommend starting with your garden and your chickens first. That's it. Garden and chickens. Don't worry about sheep. Don't worry about bees. Don't worry about goats. Don't worry about quail. Don't worry about an orchard. Don't worry about clearing land. No, garden, chickens. Focus on those two things. Because see, when you say, okay, I'm going to do the garden, I'm going to do the chickens, I'm going to clear this, I'm going to set a paddock up for sheep, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. And now you got 7 things to focus on all at one time. And that's too much because you're getting pulled in every direction. Establish those 2 things first and then build 2 more once you get those 2 under control. And once you get those 4 under control, then you can build 2 more. Once you get those 6 under control, and so on and so forth. So on and so forth, building phases. I'm not telling you how fast or slow that has to be. All I'm saying is build those 2 things first, your garden and your chicken coop, get those established. Because see, in each one of those things is more things. That's why you don't want to put, okay, how can I say this? It's just like branches on a tree, right? One branch is going to branch out into even more branches on a tree. So, you know, you got the main branch that shoots up, and then you got the branches that come out on the side, or the base that shoots up, and you got the branches that come out on the side, right? Each one of those branches is going to have other branches. You see what I'm saying? So each one of those branches on the tree is going to have more branches, and those branches are going to probably have some branches too. It's the same thing with tasks and objectives. One objective is going to lead to other objectives. One task is going to have other tasks included in that one task. So your garden is just not planting in the ground. No, because you might want to do some raised beds. You might want to build a greenhouse in there. You might want to build a pergola in there. You know, you're going to have an area for seed starting. You got to get your seeds together, get those organized. You got to get tools, all that type of stuff. So all of those tasks go into just that one task. And then with your chicken coop, okay, you got to build your chicken coop. Make sure you got nesting boxes. Make sure you got chicken feed. Make sure you got good waterers. Make sure you got supplements for your chickens, crushed oyster shell, you know, whatever. That all goes into the chicken coop. You got to clean out the chicken coop. You got to keep them protected. You got to do this. You got to do that. So just in those 2 tasks, you got other tasks that go into those 2 tasks. So imagine if you got 7 of them at one time, and then those 7 have 7 apiece that goes into it. Let me know if I'm making sense. So you done got 7 objectives on your homestead tasks, 7 objectives, 7 tasks, and each one of those 7 tasks, it has multiple tasks within it. That's too much. Start with 2, because that's manageable. And if you got 2, start with 1. Just start with the garden. Just say, you know what, I'm gonna get my garden together. That's it. And then once I'm done with the garden, I'm gonna get my bird area, chickens, turkeys, whatever you want to have in there. I'm gonna get that together. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Exactly. It's a lot to handle being off-grid or homesteading, so start where it's not overwhelming. Thank you, off-grid trucker. Shalom, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for the value you bring. Appreciate that. Stay legally. Gordon, appreciate that. I'm going to keep doing it. Hey, man, hope you're doing well this evening. Wish I could stay and tune in. Hey, I appreciate you for tuning in briefly, Robert. Appreciate you. Y'all hit that like button, too, please. I saw it last week, seen your shorts. Okay, welcome to the fam. Welcome to the fam. More to come, for sure. More to come. The tree is your mind, rooted in good soil, being productive, continuously growth. Eventually, those branches grow, become firm and support. Yep. Yes, sir. You're making hella sense. I'm following for sure. Okay, cool. Stephanie, what's going on? What's going on, Stephanie? Won't start a garden. My grandma in 96, she started like 45 years. Oh, you want to? Man, you could do it, SOS. You could do it, fam. You could do it. You could do it. Just start manageable. Because, see, when we first moved here, 5 acres. You know how big my first garden was the first year we moved here? It was maybe 8 foot by 8 foot. It was 8 by 8. That's how big my garden was. Now, of course, it has expanded over the years. You know what I'm saying? I didn't fence my garden in the first year. I didn't fence my garden in the second year. I didn't fence it in until maybe the 3rd year because my wife wanted it fenced in. And then I started building more raised beds and doing this and doing that. And so now we got a nice sized garden. Then we put some little garden fabric down and we did start doing it like that. But I think we're going to pull up the garden, the little fabric. We're going to pull that up and we're just going to plant straight in the ground because it didn't really like do what we wanted it to do. But again, our garden started off 8 by 8, 8 foot by 8 foot. That's not large at all, and we own 5+ acres, and our garden started 8 by 8, just simple. Chicken coop this big. You see what I'm saying? Just a few chickens in there. That's what we started off with our first year. You see what I'm saying? Because I understood, man, I don't want to do too much. I don't want to try to do too much. And as the years go on, then you can increase. As time goes on and you get to the point of where you have an effective system and great management and a good handle on your stuff, then you can add on. Wonder what they barking at. Then you can add on. Nobody in the family cares about stuff, but I'm starting to see one of my callings. Exactly. Be the outlier. Don't be afraid to be the outlier. The person that stands out. Don't be afraid to be that person. Because see, first they laugh, then they copy. First they laugh, then they copy. They say, oh man, this Negro trying to build some garden and all this, that, and the third. And then when they see them peppers coming in, them tomatoes coming in, that squash, potatoes, corn, they see all that coming in, garden looking nice and is producing, then they go back, man, I might need to start me a garden. See, they laugh first, then they copy. So don't be afraid to be the outlier. The more you know, the more you grow. I'm telling you, Stephanie, the more you know, the more you grow. And as you learn, you know what I'm saying, you're able to grow. But when you start with too much too soon, it's hard to grow because you're not learning as much, you're just managing. Have you thought about raised beds? Okay, yeah, we got a few. We got a few raised beds. Yeah, we got a few. Matter of fact, I'm about to build some more. Because this spring, we're going to hit it. I got some big plans for the garden, but not only the garden, but I'm going to start, I'm going to probably do, I can't say how big it's going to be, but I want to start I want to do a whole field of corn or some sort of grain. Maybe a few types of grain, because I want to really grow a lot of grain this year, especially corn, because not only is I'm going to eat it, my family going to eat it, but our animals going to eat it as well. I tried, but the kids destroyed it. Oh, man, that means you got to keep them out of there. Yep, first they laugh, then they copy. Facts, I'm telling you. First they laugh, then they copy. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say don't even stress it. Don't even stress it. But back to the topic. If you find yourself consumed with doubt and worry, it means you aren't working hard enough. And so whenever you find yourself doubting too much, man, go jump on the computer, do some research, go pick up a book, start reading, go listen to a podcast, go do something to get your mind off of doubt. You know what I'm saying? If you're able to go outside and do something and build something and, prune something or maintenance something or whatever, go do that. You see what I'm saying? Because this is the overarching point right here. This is my last point. An idle mind is the devil's playground. That's how doubt creeps in. That's how anxiety creeps in. That's how worry creeps in, because your mind is idle. It's just sitting. It's not focused on anything of significance or that is productive. It's just sitting. And so now your mind goes here, goes there, does this, does that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not fixating your mind on something that is productive. The idle mind is the devil's playground. That's how a lot of think about when you were a kid growing up, a teenager or whatever the case may be, growing up, especially like teenage years. What used to get you into trouble? What was the main driving force in you getting in trouble? Wasn't it boredom? It was boredom. When you bored and your mind is idle, especially as a child, you're going to seek out something to do to get in trouble, most likely. Something you ain't supposed to be doing because you bored. You just want to get into something. That's why the idle mind is a devil's playground. Hold on, let me see what these dogs barking at, y'all. The idle mind is the devil's playground. What are you barking at? Going crazy out there. Want to, bear enough for the whole family. Thanks for the advice. Nah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely understand that. You could do it. You could do it, bro. You could do it. The only one in my family that thinks like me, so because I'm a woman and a mother, I can doubt sometimes. I totally understand that. I totally understand that. And AZ, look, this is the thing, you're not alone. You're not alone. Like, I've been the only one in my family that's, living this type of lifestyle. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people who are on here can attest and can agree with that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are just starting out and, living and being set apart. You see what I'm saying? Being set apart, living an alternative lifestyle outside of what everybody else is living in our family and really like breaking the mold. A lot of us are like that, so we can relate. So I can understand why you say you doubt sometimes, because I've doubted sometimes. And I'm pretty sure people on here have as well. But just trust your vision and trust your plan. It's you know what I'm saying? Like, and trust that you're not crazy. Like, it's a reason why. You know what I'm saying? People may think you crazy because, oh man, they going off grid, they doing this, they homesteading, they whatever. They homeschooling their kids. Yeah, because we see what's out there. We're not crazy. They are the ones who crazy because they the ones who trying to keep up with the status quo. If anything, they the ones doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. But dare to be different, because when you do something different, you get a different result. So that's why I say don't even trip on it. Don't even trip. But whenever you find yourself getting consumed in doubt, that just means you need to go out and do some work. And look, that's I'm talking to myself. Whenever I find myself like, man, I just, I don't know. This ain't happening, that ain't happening. I should have been right here. I should have been right there. Whatever. And then I got to remind myself, like, yeah, you ain't busy enough. You ain't doing enough. You got people that's working way harder than you out here. You know what I'm saying? If you really feel like, for instance, the content, if you really feel like you ain't growing how you supposed to be and this, that, and the third, that just means you need to go put out more videos. That means you need to strategize more, get more video ideas, put more videos out instead of putting one video out a day, put 2 out a day and 2 shorts, and then go live. And maybe you need to go live twice a day, and maybe you need to do this, maybe you need to do that. You ain't doing enough. If you doubting, that means you ain't doing enough. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to go live every other day or whatever, in addition to posting the video and shorts and all that, because of course I want to grow. So guess what? I got to do more. It requires more. I can't, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't be entitled. I can't be entitled to nobody's views, nobody subscribe. I can't be entitled to, nobody joining my tribe. I can't be entitled to that. I just got to work harder. And put in more effort and double down on what works and get more focused and locked in. You see what I'm saying? Oh man, you know what? This ain't happening on my homestead, or I set back here. I ain't got enough for this. I ain't got enough for that. Well, start thinking about how you can do it, and start, instead of thinking like what you can't do, think about, okay, well, how can I do this? How can I get that? Okay, well, I can do this. I can do that, and then execute that plan and go on that plan and work that plan. You see what I'm saying? Because if you doubting that and you worrying and you doubting and you doing all that in your mind, it just means you ain't working hard enough. It just means you need to go out there and do more than what you are currently doing. Because the reason why you doubting is because what you're doing is not producing what you want, right? So that means you need to do more so you can produce more. That's just the answer to it. That's just the bottom line. And what's going on, Milan? And y'all, I swear I'm talking to a mirror right now because I'm really talking to myself. I'm really just speaking to myself. That's just really what it is. Y'all just the audience. y'all just get the front row view of me talking to myself. Cause I ain't gonna lie, my self-talk is rough. My self-talk is crazy. I be talking to myself like, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna get into all that, what I'm getting through to myself. Yeah, nah, for real, SOS. But yeah, y'all wouldn't believe my self-talk. But it's healthy to have a self-talk and to hold yourself accountable. But see, this the thing though with my self-talk. Sometimes I can be too hard on myself. You know what I mean? Sometimes I can be too self-aware. But it is what it is. I was in that space today. I had to go pray real quick. See, just right on time. But yeah, no, and that's another thing too. Don't just go out and work hard. Pray as well. Read. You might need to go open up the scriptures. You might need to go, listen to some worship and praise music. Meditate. You know what I mean? Get your mind right. Get your, repeat your favorite scripture. Read that to yourself. Mine is Psalm 23. Anytime I'm at a place in life where I feel like it's a hard place, I just go to Psalm 23 or Matthew chapter 6. But Psalm 23 is my favorite though. But yeah, you might need to just pick up the scriptures, open up the scriptures, go pray. You might need to fast. See what I'm saying? You might need to shut that flesh up. You might need to go on a fast, or you might need to abstain from something like social media or TV. You see what I'm saying? That's what you might need to do too, in addition to working hard and getting productive. Taking it all in, deep knowledge. I appreciate that, Stephanie. I'm glad. I'm glad. Amen. Thank God. I'm telling you, your growth and experience is tailor-made for you. Life is all about ups and downs, time and place for everything. If you see it for yourself, see it through. No one owes it to you. Give it all to yourself. Give it to yourself. Nobody owes you nothing. When you realize that, and when you finally accept that, you move different. You move different. You see what I'm saying? You're not entitled to nothing. I don't care how good you think your cause is. I don't care how pure you think your intentions are. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody don't owe you no grant, no loan, no support, no like, no share, no comment, no subscribe. Nobody don't owe you nothing. You got to earn that. And when I find myself getting in my feelings about certain stuff, I just like, man, I ain't working hard enough. That just is what it is. I catch myself like, I ain't gonna lie, look, I'm being real with y'all. I catch myself getting mad at subscribers. I'm like, man, I done dropped this video, they ain't watching it, they ain't sharing it, they ain't doing it. But guess what? I had to catch myself. I'm like, nah, you just ain't working hard enough. Or maybe that idea didn't resonate with everybody. Maybe that video didn't apply to everybody. So how can you, put something out that adds value to people? Instead of you just wanting people to add value to you. Put something out to help people, to add value to people, to entertain people, to inspire, motivate, encourage, whatever. See what I'm saying? And then people will bless you and people will give you that support that you're looking for. But you got to give first to receive. So I be having to catch myself, because as a creative, and I'm pretty sure any creative person has felt like this, whether you're a content creator, whether you're an artist in music, whether you're an artist physically, like with painting and stuff like that, or any type of creative production, when you put something out that you have created and you put time and effort in, and when it does not do what you want it to do, you feel a certain type of way, and you feel it deeply. You feel it deeply a lot of times, most of the time. See what I'm saying? A lot of people be sensitive about their work and their craft, and I understand that being a creative myself. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, you know what I'm saying? You putting your all into this song, and then people laugh at you on stage. You know what I mean? Or people, you know what I'm saying, boo you or whatever the case may be. But see, this is the thing. You got to have the right mindset around that and say, you know what? I'm not entitled to whatever, I want from them. I have to work hard for it. So guess what? They didn't like this one. Let me try to put out one that they would like, while still maintaining my integrity and my creativity. You see what I'm saying? I just gotta dig deeper and work harder. Yeah, hello, y'all. Amen. Had to restore my balance with the Most High. Me too. And look, we got to do that often. A lot of times we got to do that often. That's why it's called a walk, in a journey, in a path. You see what I'm saying? Because, and it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. We're going to be walking this walk with the Most High until we be with him, until we go with him. So it's going to be times, it's going to be times where we get off course, or we want to veer to the left, veer to the right. We looking at people on the broad path, and we say, man, that broad path look good. And so you just unintentionally start veering that way, and then you have to get yourself back on the narrow path and on the straight and narrow, not just on the narrow path, but on the straight and narrow path. You got to be straight on that narrow path. You can't be veering on that narrow path, because when you veer that way, you can get out of bounds. But you gotta, sometimes we got to do that, because life is real, and our flesh is very much real too. Flesh is very much real. Sin feels good. I know a lot of people don't like to say that, but sin feels good. You know what I mean? But that don't mean we do it. So whenever you tempted to do it, that just means you got to realign yourself back to the Most High. That means you might have to give up something. That means you might have to starve your flesh for a little while, because you're getting too out of hand. It's getting too out of hand. It's speaking too loud at this point. Look, this done turned into a whole sermon, y'all. This will turn into a whole sermon. Rejoice evermore. Pray without ceasing. Pray without ceasing. Without ceasing, meaning continual pray, intercession, supplication. Look, I ain't gonna preach on here, y'all. In everything, give thanks, for this will be, for this is the will of God in Christ Yeshua concerning you. Amen. All right. What do you say? Esteem with the Most High. This walk is challenging yet most rewarding. Just continue striving and seeking. Exactly. Just continue on. What's going on, Sam? What's going on, Sam Walker? What's going on, fam? In order to stay straight, you need balance. Exactly. Just like if you're on a bicycle, if you want to keep that bicycle straight, you got to stay balanced. And a lot of times you may have to start with training wheels. Oh, man, see? That's why I like when bars and y'all be on here, because we feed off of each other. We feed off of each other, because that just applies, right? Just like in order to remain straight on a bicycle, you have to be balanced. And a lot of us aren't really born with that gift just yet. So how do a lot of us start? When we 5, 6, 7 years old, we start with training wheels, because the training wheels act as a balance for us. So we don't start big. You know, very few people could just jump on the bike. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't have to use training wheels growing up. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. I had older cousins and stuff, and we used to steal bikes, and we just jump on them and ride off. So I ain't never used training wheels, but most kids need training wheels. Most kids need training wheels to keep that balance for them. And sometimes in life, when you're starting off at something, you may need to have the training wheels on, because you ain't able to balance that yourself. And then as you get used to the training wheels being on, and then you can start balancing yourself. But start with the training wheels. LOL. Yes, sir. I'm just going off what you're saying. It's a word. Nah, for real. That, but yeah, man, for sure. But I love it. Iron sharpen. That's it. The off-grid trucker. Iron sharpen iron. Keep your sword sharpened and your armor close by. But iron sharpens iron. That's what it is, Barza. We sharpening each other. But it is easy to veer off. Keep your sword sharpen, your armor close by. Exactly. Keep the word close by. Keep the armor of the Most High close by. You know what I mean? When you go these woe, it's me spaces, that mean you getting ahead of the process. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep, when you get these woe is me, yep, that means you getting ahead of the process. Exactly. That means you want your plan to work and not the Most High plan. That means you getting ahead of him. No, absolutely. Indeed. But yeah, those are my points. But great convo, man. Great build. I appreciate all y'all. I'm gonna let y'all get back to it, because I gotta go in and do some more work and do some more stuff. Y'all be on the lookout. I got some videos dropping, just like using the GPS nav system. When, of course, you gotta follow instructions and get back to basics. Thank you, Stephanie. You gotta get back to basics, because see, you done tried to get ahead of the GPS. GPS say keep straight. You like, nah, I think it'll be good if I go this way. I think it'll be good if I go that way. No, the GPS telling you if you want to get here in 25 minutes, keep straight ahead 15 miles. But you like, nah, I think if I go this way, because see, I remember one time I went that way before, and I'm gonna go. No, you're not gonna get there in 25 minutes. Then it might take you 45 now, because you done got ahead of the GPS, and you're not mastering the basics no more. You're not, following instruction. Beautiful Bill. Thank you for your continued labor. Nah, for sure. No problem, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all for liking the live and engaging. You know what I mean? But like I say, this my self-talk. But I'm gonna try to go live every day. I ain't gonna be able to promise y'all nothing though. But I'm gonna at least do 3-4 times a week live on here. But I'm gonna try to go live every day though, and we chop it up. You know, it's gonna be spontaneous times. Y'all know how I am. I just jump on live spontaneously. You know what I mean? But if y'all haven't already, go check out my last video. Hype it up if you like it, and like the video as well. But like Milan say, we gonna make it, family. And I second that. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm finna get back to my evening. Like I always say, he who has the power to feed you also has the power to starve you. See y'all on the next one.